Hey.
I know it's like the Brady Bunch,
It
right?
is.
Hey, or Hollywood Squares.
That's right.
We're dating ourselves either way.
I've only heard of those two things. I don't know.
I've only heard of it. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, yeah. Is that like Love Island?
That see, I'm the opposite. I've only heard of Love Island. I've
Oh,
never
okay.
seen it. Whereas I think I watched Brady Bunch in real time, like not
Oh,
on, whatever Nick at Night or whatever these things are that play reruns.
I only watch laptop. I don't
Lapped.
watch laptop. Yeah, I don't. You were talking about television
Yes,
channels
there
like
was this
cable?
thing called a box,
The
a
box.
TV box. I had to actually physically change the channel.
I
That's
don't know.
Peter and I are very different generations, as you can see. So, okay, so everyone, we're here just talking. Peter and I have known each other for a couple years, and Peter's going to be in the Soy Saucy September 7th at the Crow in Santa Monica. He's going to be hosting the whole thing.
I
Thank
can't wait.
you for that, Peter.
Yeah, happy to. It's gonna be super fun.
I'm so excited. So excited. And it's going to sell out. So buy your tickets now, soysaucy.com.
Mhm.
Okay. So Peter and I met a couple years ago now, right? I think it was during the Uncle Bob's.
The comedy contest.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It might have been Uncle Bob, Uncle Clyde's, Uncle Clyde's. I think
Oh,
it's called.
or Uncle Clyde. I'm not so good with I have a big family.
There's a lot of
So
there's a
I
lot of
get
family
confused.
competitions. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uncle Clyde's is the comedy competition. Uncle Bob's is the apple picking and apple bobbing competition.
I swear there's an Uncle Bob something somewhere. But anyway, Uncle Clyde's, right, Uncle Clyde's.
That for some
Hence,
reason that reminds me of like this place I grew up next to called CV Tomatoes, and they would have
okay.
like the best. Oh my gosh, did you remember? If you remember TV, let me tell you about the radio. You remember the radio?
Yes, I do remember the radio.
They had this radio song. They were like, Steven Tomatoes, sports page, go for the food, stay for the sports. Stay for the sports.
I don't
Like,
think I was
ugh.
listening to the same channel as you.
No, slightly different. But in Florida, it's all about screaming and yelling. And so on the radio, that's what's happening.
So you're from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about Florida. I've never been to Florida.
Really?
Yes. Is that
Yeah.
bad?
Um, you can
And I've
skip
been
it.
to a lot of states too. Like I've been to Kentucky and Alabama, and I haven't been to Florida.
Okay. Well, let's trace it. Kentucky, bourbon. Gotta have the bourbon. Did you? I mean, that's fun. I mean, there are dry counties, but
Mm,
Lynchburg is where
yes.
they do
I
Jack
was in
Daniels,
Lynchburg, so I was definitely not in a dry county.
and it's not dry in Lynchburg,
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I was definitely not in dry county because I was in Lynchburg. We went to
right?
we went to the Jack Daniels distillery.
Oh, fun.
Yes. Oh, have you been?
Is that as fun as it sounds? Because I went to the Jameson distillery when I was in Dublin. It is the most fun you will have traveling uh,
So
during the day in Dublin.
I might have been too young to appreciate it because
Mm.
I've been to the Guinness distillery,
Ooh.
also in Dublin, right?
Okay, yeah.
And that was
You could try to do two in one day. I was ambitious at the beginning of the day, but after an afternoon in the Jameson distillery, Guinness is just too far away.
the Guinness one was really cool. I didn't make it to the other one. I was like 11 when I went to the Jack Daniels one, and I can tell you exactly why. Because I went to space camp
Mm-hmm.
in Huntsville, Alabama,
Uh-huh. Oh.
and then my family went to visit Jack Daniels during that time. So I was 11. So I didn't really appreciate it.
I love me some Huntsville, Alabama. Let me tell you what. I lived in Birmingham, Alabama for 8 months.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow.
An incredible experience. So if I'm in Kentucky, I went to Kentucky once. Did not get to enjoy Lynchburg and the good people at Jack Daniels, but so I'd love to visit there. But if you're in Alabama, the things to do, particularly, are go to Jim and Nick's barbecue.
Okay.
Absolutely incredible. Milo's
What's
barbecue.
Milo?
Milo's is a sweet tea. You can get their sweet tea at any Albertsons, I think, but
Oh, wow.
some of the best regional fast food you could imagine. It's not the equivalent of, but similar in reputation to In-N-Out.
Oh, okay.
So In-N-Out is to California what Milo's, in my opinion, is to Alabama and the South, and the best sweet tea consistently that you will get. I mean, someone's grandma in a shack is making great sweet tea, right? But if you need to get a gallon of it for a party, that's where you go. You go to Milo's. And then, growing up there, or not growing up there, but I did a lot of growing up there, but in my 8 months in Birmingham, it was the first time I ever tried ranch on pizza. And that is, that's fun. And yeah, had a great time in Birmingham. But then, all these experiences, we're talking about Dublin, we're talking about Kentucky, we're talking about Alabama, and the excitement of travel in America and abroad. All of that is in one way or another synthesized within Florida. So if you've traveled the world, you will enjoy Florida's replica of a replica of whatever you've experienced somewhere else. And nowhere is that more true than at Epcot in Disney World, where you can go in one afternoon from Canada to Japan to Italy and then Paris.
And that's where you're from, Orlando, right?
Yeah, somewhere between the Canada, Moose Lodge in Epcot and and where they shoot off the rockets at Cape Canaveral. No, I'm from Florida, raised there, and from a sunny little town called Cape Coral. And two fun facts about Cape Coral: more canals than any other city in the world, including Venice, Italy.
Really?
And they are all man-made canals because the city, not all cities in Florida, but this city in particular, was made on what was meant to be it was never meant to be inhabited by man. It was swampland.
Oh, I see. So they had to dig it out to make it work.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
You got to dig it out to make it work sometimes.
So what's it like in Orlando besides the theme parks?
Yeah, I lived in Orlando for 5 years, spent the better part of 18 years in Cape Coral, Birmingham and New York, somewhere in between there. And what's it like in Orlando? Orlando's, when I grew up in Florida, there was a big roller coaster boom. So every city either had it's kind of funny to think of a roller coaster boom. But, Islands of Adventure and Universal were being built, and Disney was already so well established there, Disney World.
Oh, okay.
So
it really changed the landscape for you.
Well, when Universal and Islands of Adventure were becoming very popular in the 90s, every city in Florida felt the need to compete with that. So in Tampa, we have Busch Gardens, which has a zoo theme. We have, in my hometown, this place called Sunsplash, which is a family water park. And being in Florida, it's open most of the year, and can have and it's fun. So what's it like living in Florida? What's it like living in Orlando? Unfortunately, in Orlando, we're in the shadow of Mickey Mouse, which is a love and hate relationship. I love that it offers fun jobs to my creative friends that live in town there. However, it does this attract yet repel thing where people are like, oh, I'm going to go to Orlando. And then if you have like a spare afternoon or an evening that you don't want to go to the theme park, you'll find a lot of culture and excitement there, starting with the two professional sports teams, the Orlando Magic and Orlando City Soccer Club, and then the incredible photography and artist and music and comedian scene that is part of downtown and the Milk District. And yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Wow.
Constantly overlooked. And I'm here to stand up for those Orlando artists because they are incredible. And also,
sponsored by Visit Orlando.
Exactly. We have our celebrities as well. One person that studied at SAC Comedy Lab, that is our improv school there, school and improv theater, is Wayne Brady. Wayne Brady studied
amazing. He's brilliant.
Who's funnier than Wayne Brady? Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, well, wow, you just took me from I will never go to Florida to I'm absolutely gonna have to go to Orlando.
Yeah, visit Orlando and get
Yeah.
lost. Get
Yeah.
lost in Orlando. You want to go, if Stevie Tomatoes, go for the food, stay for the sports. If you're going for the food, stay for the sports. If you're going to Orlando, go for the mouse, but stay for the art.
Oh, I like that. Is that a tagline somewhere, or did you just make that up?
I just made that up just on the spot.
Oh my God.
The
Trademark.
Visit Orlando
Peter
people
Murphy.
take it. Yeah, take it.
Yes, visitorlando.com. When are you sponsoring Peter Murphy? Come on.
Yeah, come on.
In
I used to
fact-
host, when I lived there, I used to host a show called Orlando Live, which is done by the great people at Concrete Line Pictures and Full Sail in conjunction with Full Sail. And then I would also host shows at like music shows and comedy shows, the Hard Rock Cafe and the House of Blues, which is fun. So a lot of culture and a lot of touring bands and stuff like that. But yeah, I love shouting about Orlando anytime I can. And I'm going to be back there hopefully sometime soon, but definitely November for Warped Tour. Warped Tour is coming back.
What's Warped Tour?
So it's a festival that is celebrating its 30th year, I think, this year. And it would be like a traveling carnival for independent bands. They would go around across the country. They're just reviving it now. So there's only 3 stops. It's in DC, that location, that event already passed, then Long Beach out here in California, and then Orlando. And basically it's like, emo and punk rock bands, and it's the Vans Warped Tour. So, people that wear Vans, it's the type of music that they listen to.
Okay. I love Vans.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, me too. Who doesn't?
I am told we are a Vans family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, that's a totally another story. We won't go there right now. So,
sure. Like you wear Vans or you're driving Vans, like
both.
A minivan.
So,
nice.
So we have a camper van,
mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Oh, we're like Vans in the van." Anyway, whatever.
So I was in a band. Let me tell you this real quick. I know you want to transition, but since we brought it up, I was in a band called Born with Steel Teeth. That was my high school band.
Uh-huh.
Fun. High school and college. It was called Born with Steel Teeth. And we would play. We played this one show with our friend in this band called Beaten Strangers, and they were like an electronica type of band, and it was mostly one guy playing a lot of instruments and tracks. But I think we were like a 4-piece, 5-piece, and it was like metalcore, screamcore, jam band, jazz influenced. And this one show we played at, I forget the venue exactly, but we're in the van, and I'm like, my girlfriend at the time, she's in the front seat. The rest of the band's in the back. There's like, we're packed in. There's like 7 of us in this van. And they're like, Peter, be careful. There's a lot of cars in the parking lot. Like, be careful. And I'm like, I look back and I'm like, I'm fine. And then I thought I was in reverse, but I was in drive, and I was like, whoa!
Oh my God.
And I hit our friend Stephanie's car. And that was the last time I got to drive the band van.
You and Vans.
I know, yeah.
Something happening there.
Yeah, I mostly hang out in the back of them, in the back of Vans.
So
after that incident,
for those of you watching, you can scan this QR code, get tickets to see Peter and I in September. Soy Saucey, all Asian and Latin comedians. I love how you're looking at it like you can actually see it. We're just going to continue this Brady Bunch vibe. Yeah. Okay, so you are a huge soccer fan, which is not something I knew about you.
Yeah, that's a sneaky little sneak fact. When I lived in Birmingham, I went to school at Birmingham Southern College, and at the time they were a Division I soccer program. We would played in the Big South, so that's when I got to visit Kentucky. We played against Western Kentucky, go Hilltoppers. And then we played against teams like Coastal Carolina, Virginia Military Institute, VMI, Stetson, stuff like that throughout the Big South, all the way up to Dayton, which was exciting. And I went there. I went to school there for about 8 months and played soccer there. But then that school decided to go from Division I to Division III.
Oh.
For a number of reasons, mostly being they thought enrollment would go up if they added a football team. But who cares about Division III football? I don't know if that, no shade to Division III football players, but like why are you?
Right.
Yeah, if you're playing Division III football, come on, give it up. Give it. Division III.
I don't know. You're talking like wrenches and nuts to me. That
Okay,
sounds like,
right.
I don't
I
even know.
see. But anyhow, I transferred to another school to play Division II soccer in New York, and the interesting thing is both of those schools, as of 2024, are they cease to exist. They have
Really?
both gone into millions and millions of dollars of debt,
Oh, wow.
and they've closed. Both of those institutions have closed.
You are just a good luck charm for higher education, Peter Murphy.
Yeah, well, I went to exactly, and I graduated high school in Florida, which means I only have a third grade education, really.
But you know what? You came up with a beautiful metaphor. It was SAT worthy, right? In and out
Oh,
is to California as Milo. Is that what you said?
Milo's, yeah,
Milo's is to
the
Alabama.
South. Yeah, is that a metaphor or a simile?
It's the one with the colon, so I think it's a metaphor, right? It's blank, colon is to blank, colon. Yeah.
Is that if I have a colon? Does that
Or
make
no,
me a metaphor?
analogy. It's an analogy.
Analogy. Okay.
Analogy.
Wow, you learned. Whoever you're watching this 16 minutes in, you're like, am I going to learn something? Yep.
Yes.
You just did.
You
You just did. But yeah, played soccer all my life up to that point. And I continue to cover and watch the beautiful game. I work for goal.com with their fan-led and player-led videos, and I'm doing a lot on their what's about to be announced is this is an exclusive for us here. Is their podcast network. So their podcast network is about to break out, and I'm really excited to announce the specific shows when they come out. But right now, that's all I can say.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Big soccer guy. You watch soccer, right?
So I love soccer as a player. I don't really like watching sports in general. I play almost every sport. In fact, I still play soccer.
Oh, cool. Good for you.
Yeah. But I don't like watching sports.
Really?
I like to do.
Right. The idea of going somewhere, sitting down for 90 to 100 minutes, that just doesn't interest you.
No, and I went to a big sports school.
Oh.
2 big sports schools, actually.
Oh.
I'm a Trojan.
Oh, yeah. Hey, fight on.
Fight on. And I would sit in the stands because I did go to the football games when I was a student. I would sit in the stands, and I've never been able to meditate as easily as I meditate when I'm watching football. It's like 3 hours go by and no information came in, and I'm just
wow.
I feel so like calm and rested and renewed. Oh, sorry. Did we win? Did we not win? I don't know I have no idea.
That's another reason to go to a live game. Is like the meditative factor of it.
Yes.
And I got to be honest with you, I'm kind of like that when it comes to concerts. When I and are you the same way?
Yeah, I never go to music concerts because I'm the same way. I'm just like, I can sit at home and stare at the wall for 2 hours.
But that's why I like to go, is because sometimes with sporting events, I think with soccer specifically, there's a specific way to watch it where you are more impressed and more engaged than simply, hey, well, what's this? Meaning there's like equivalence to other sports. Like in basketball, there are so many baskets made. The score can sometimes be 100 to 100 and 120 to 110. In soccer, it's obviously there's not that much scoring, but advancing the ball is and completing a pass in the final third near your opponent's goal is just as thrilling and challenging as a basket in basketball. Because not all baskets are a challenge or are challenged.
Right.
There's like some easy layups, some breakaways, some stuff, some unguarded shots, stuff like that. But if you're watching soccer and you want to really get behind it and get excited about it, I think treating every successful pass like a basket in basketball and cheering for that is the way to do it. And if some fans, particularly Spanish fans, if they get a little cocky about the number of passes that their team has made, they'll start like an Ole chant with every successful pass, which is both insulting to the other team's fans and players, and also just like a, hey, something's happening here, even though the scoreboard might be reading 0-0.
Right. No, because it's challenging. I mean, soccer fields are huge. So completing a successful pass without interference from the other team is an accomplishment.
But you avoid these things because it's like meditation. I go to concerts and some sporting events because it's meditation.
Interesting.
I'm like, that's my time to get in touch with my subconscious.
So your favorite team is Orlando?
Yeah, my favorite soccer team is Orlando City. They played the MLS 2022 U.S. Open Cup champions. I was at that match. Great. And then, that's stateside here, just because, I worked with the team in their first year, fairly new team, 2010 was when they were announced. So not, just
that's pretty established. I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah. But 2010, like there are soccer teams like my other team that I root for, I'm an absolute diehard fan of, is Everton, and they were established in 1892.
Yeah, but European teams, they're, whatever. They've been around forever.
Yeah, exactly. Hard to compare any European team to an American team on any scale. But yeah, then in the English Premier League, I support Everton, and they're great. The People's Club is their nickname. Out of Liverpool.
Well, you mentioned something I hadn't heard, which is that there are a lot of American players on the Everton team.
Yeah, historically, they've fielded the most Americans of any Premier League team, and that's just over time, not currently. We actually, Everton don't have any current American players.
Oh, so it's a total lie. Thanks, Peter Murphy. Make me a liar.
Just in history, amongst Premier League teams, we have the most. From what I gather, there might be another team that could challenge us, but American players that have played for Everton, the great Landon Donovan, the great Tim Howard, the great Brian McBride, and then of course the great Preki, and then Joe Max Moore. That's 5. Not a big number, but considering that American players don't get too many shots to play overseas, pretty impressive.
Okay, so you told me that you're a boyfriend. Right. And that's a significant thing for you. Why is it one of the 3 identifiers that you asked me to include in your interview title?
Sure, yeah. I'm a boyfriend kind of guy. I'm just
what does that mean?
Good question. I enjoy being in a relationship and just being in love. What's better? What's better than that? What's better than that? Yeah.
Wow. I don't even
I'm a
remember
boyfriend
that
kind of guy.
God, that sounds so sweet and new and hopeful. I really don't remember.
Do I sound foolish when I say it like that?
No, not foolish. Okay. Just young. You just sound young when you say that. Like, be married for multiple decades, like this one here.
Wow, yeah. You're a child bride. You were a child bride.
I was not a child bride. I was almost 30 when I got married. Thank you very much.
Wow.
This is called lots of work. Not
lots of love.
Plastic surgery. Just like I do face yoga, Peter Murphy.
Whoa, face yoga?
Yes, you have to. You have to at a certain age. If you want this to not be on the floor, you have to do face yoga. It's just reality. Although comedy helps because I do a lot of expressions.
Not
to be confused with impressions, which I don't do. I kind of do a share.
Share?
Yeah, I do a little bit of a I got you hold my hand, something like that. Anyway.
Oh wow.
Does that count as an impression?
I think that was just like incoherent mumbling. But you know what? I haven't checked in on Sharon a little bit, and she's getting up there. I love me some Cher. I love me some Cher though. I believe in life after love. Or do I? Or do I?
Okay, so you're boyfriending, and it sounds really sweet and romantic.
Mm.
What do you still celebrate, like, Valentine's Day and anniversaries and that kinda stuff?
I think here we're gonna go deep here. I think it's important to celebrate every moment as it happens, not to get too caught up in the future or the past or what
Mm.
has happened, what will happen, and climb a mountain in one step. You can't do that. So I really enjoy any opportunity to celebrate, and being Floridian, there's something that I've noticed in fellow Floridians is that we tend to really go heavy into our emotional directions. Like if things are going bad, oh, let's make it worse, but but if things are good, let's over celebrate it, right?
Mhm.
And life to me, if you're asking me today, July 1st, 2025, life is just about seeking that one moment of glory that can live forever.
Hmm.
And within that, there's nothing wrong with choosing to celebrate any opportunity to celebrate. I'm not talking
Oh my
about
god, I'm gonna go hug my husband when he comes home. I'll be
please,
like,
please do. Yeah.
"Honey, we have to celebrate this moment."
Peter was talking about minivans, and then we started crying. I think that's what it's all about, and yeah, it's so. But what I'm saying is, I'm not like, oh my god, I need to get a card for Secretary's Day, though. We should be celebrating our secretaries and people
I think they're called
working jobs like that.
administrative assistants now.
Are they? Okay, great. Well, then good for them. Good. Does that come with a pay bump? I don't care what the fuck you're called.
It should, I'm sure.
It should. Yes, exactly. A rose by any other name would make as much money on on the pay on the call sheet. But yeah, I'm not saying like celebrate National Sourdough Day. Let's
What do you
not
have
get carried
against
away.
sourdough? Oh my god.
Nothing. I love sourdough. I love Neapolitan pizza. I love it all. But what I'm saying is, I'm not one to shy away from celebrating, Valentine's Day or a half birthday or a half anniversary.
Okay,
Just
so tell me
let's do
about
it.
the most recent celebration,
Ooh,
memorable celebration that you had. Like, what did you do? Did you do something fun?
the most recent memorable
Mhm,
celebration.
mhm.
Oh,
You're all talking the celebration game, Peter.
right, right, right. My most recent celebration, one that comes to mind immediately is I filmed a special which will be out soon. Yeah. And it's a stand up comedy special, full length. It's great. You'll be able to see it on a streaming platform before the end of this year. TBD. Stay tuned on my Instagram and social media to learn more about that. But what was unique about this is there are some comedians who will shoot a special and they'll have two tapings. Some comedians I've heard do upwards of 6 to 8 tapings.
Oh,
I had to do this in one take, one
mhm.
shot. That's all I had, and we shot it live, and it was to be live. We had the opportunity to do pickups, but I was, for the sake of energy and keeping it live, we didn't do that. So I was like, all right, I'm going to focus on this and then really celebrate it afterwards. So what I did was we shot at the Hotel Cafe right in Hollywood, a beautiful venue. Where actually interesting, I just found this out. Mac Miller, one of his final performances was at the Hotel Cafe,
I've
right in the
never
middle of
been
Hollywood.
there.
Beautiful place, beautiful place. Great to see bands there. If you want to find your next favorite band, check them out, the Hotel Cafe. And so right around the corner was a hotel, and so I got a hotel room, and I invited everybody to come and party, and we partied on the roof, and then we partied in the hotel, and that wasn't necessary. I live in Los Angeles,
Right.
but there was something fun about, hey, the venue that we shot the thing is here. Let's go over there and let's party and let's hang out. And I love to create a space for my friends to get to know each other, because I play soccer. I do comedy. I'm in in and out of a bunch of different fun groups and stuff like that. And like when friends combine and collide, it's always exciting. And so,
Right.
so we really over celebrated that night because it was a tremendous accomplishment because it was months of pre-production building to this one opportunity to make something special. And I really am really happy with what happened. And we really celebrated that night.
That's wonderful. I love that. I'm all about celebrating accomplishments. That I can totally get behind.
Yeah.
And kudos to you. Bidding war for the Peter Murphy special.
Yeah.
Visit Orlando. We'll be putting in a bid, I'm sure, as they should.
Gosh, yeah. That would be great. Yeah.
And oh my gosh, we have to do this again because we're at our time. We've gone over time, but it's
my goodness,
so
yeah.
It's been so fun.
Well, thanks for yapping. Sorry I took up so much time yapping about minivans.
No, it was all good. And you should all come see Peter and I at Soy Saucey, September 7th at the Crow. There it is in St. Monica. Yeah, Soy Saucey. $25, huge parking lot that's free, and wonder of all wonders in Los Angeles, you can actually take the metro.
Whoa, really?
Yes, it's the same parking lot.
Oh.
So you can take the metro to this comedy club. And by the way, I saw a show there in May, and this comedy club is part of a huge complex, and there's a lot of art galleries around. And the show was happening, and apparently a really famous comedian was exiting an art gallery, and the comedy club owner grabbed him and said, "Will you please do a set?" And he said, "Hell no." And then apparently his wife was like, "What the hell? Get up on stage, do a set." And so I got to see Ray Romano.
That's great.
Do it. Good. Amazing set.
Oh.
Completely unprepared. So I'm hoping that Ali Wong is walking by as our show is happening.
Yeah,
or
that's
Randall
the fun
Park
of
or something.
That's the fun of Los Angeles.
Let's put that out there to the universe. Like one of these people walk on by and come in and do a set on Soy Saucey.
Yeah, and if they can't get tickets on the QR code, where else can they get tickets on your
soysaucey.com? Super easy. And there is an E in that, Soy Saucey. soysaucey.com. SOYSAUCEY.
Oh yeah, there it is.
It's scrolling by. I hope it's not hurting you as it scrolls in front of your chest there.
It's fine.
And Peter Murphy, where can people find you?
You can find me at petermurphythecomedian.com. Don't want to confuse me with any of those other Peter Murphys, the rock stars and the real estate agents of the world.
And the Irish barkeepers.
That's right. Yes.
You have a very Irish name for being from Orlando or Cape Coral, Florida.
Yeah. Well, it gets more Irish the more you get to know it because I'm Peter Francis Murphy IV.
Wow.
Peter Francis Murphy IV. Yeah, that's me. And you can also find me on Instagram. It's Peter_Murphy. And also Goal USA, Taste Made. And you know what? My podcast is Funniest People You've Never Heard of.
We're just going to go over time because I want to hear about your podcast a bit.
It's great. Here's the idea of the podcast. They're, like Ray Romano and Ali Wong, who we had mentioned. There's so many great comedians really doing gigantic venues, and nobody is really paying attention to the next generation of comics. So this is about the next generation of comics and the next people up. It's called The Funniest People You've Never Heard of. You can find it on YouTube. And you can also, find it here on Instagram, if just Funniest People Pod. And it gives me an opportunity to feature that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so great because you and I, we go to a million comedy shows. I go to comedy shows all the time. And I'm always amazed at all the fantastic comedians that people don't know about. Both filling clubs and not filling clubs because they're just not known yet.
What I've discovered through this podcast is everybody can be funny. Everybody's ceiling is different. But the thing with famous comedians is they just have a bit of fortune that they're in the right place at the right time. And so you get into the right place at the right time if you're doing it consistently and people know where to find you.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining me, Peter Murphy. This has been a blast. And I can't wait for September.
It's gonna be here before you know it. And I know the show's gonna sell out. So everybody make sure you grab your tickets now. Yeah, why not?